All right, what's going on, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. Going to give a breakdown on why I'm shorting the real estate market and why I'm choosing to do so now versus somewhere up here, right? We're getting into new plays every single day in the Options Trading Tycoons Discord. There's a nice pattern I see forming. There's a couple things to be cautious of if you're trying to short it. We're going to break down the relative strength index, the RSI, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of good info in this video. But before we do that and jump into the chart, let's go ahead and look at the headlines today, okay? Updated October 11th, same day at the time of this recording. This post was about 10 minutes old heading into this video. S&P 500 nearing 2-year lows, all right? And you can dive into it a little bit more. They're going to go and give you some of the more details, but we're going to look at some of the headlines. There's a really good important quote in here that I really like and want to highlight that's really got a lot of people's attention. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon on Monday warned that the U.S. would likely fall into a recession over the next 6 to 9 months and said the S&P 500 could fall another 20%, depending on whether the Federal Reserve engineers a soft or a hard landing for the economy. So fear is at an all-time high right now. And we can go ahead and take a look at this article. All right. And we look at the IMF outlook for 2023 global economy, and it does not look good either. Okay. Most notably, they are citing a long list of threats that include Russia's war against Ukraine, chronic inflation pressures, punishing interest rates, and the lingering consequences of the global pandemic. Throw on top of that, you have OPEC cutting out 2 million barrels a day from the supply of oil. And we're heading into winter right now. And most of the globe, most of the world is using energy a lot more in times like this in the winter time. Okay. I'm sure we've all seen Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. You need to be prepared. And they're making it harder to do that by potentially driving the prices up of energy by cutting out these 2 million barrels a day from supply. All right. And then we can go in here and we can look at TD expects steeper home price drop in early 2023 than initial forecast, right? And this is the TD economics team who's writing this report. And they recently revised its housing forecast to account for an even steeper price declines in early 2023 and then slower growth for the remainder of the year, right? So again, you can go in here and you can look up these articles and read them all more in detail. We're going to keep this video nice and short, but I do want to mention you will get access to all of my thoughts, all of the admin trader thoughts, and all the plays that we're getting in and out of through the Discord. So make sure to use the link in the description. I got into this play earlier today, and right before I started recording, I was already up 4% on my position. So if you want access to those, make sure to use the link in the description to join the Discord. And if you use the code Zachly, you will get a discount on your membership. All right. Let's dive into the chart now. So we're looking at the daily chart first, is what we're going to break down on IVR. And what we're seeing is a very, very big rally today, right? Up over 6.5%. It was up 7% on the highs. If we click the live news tab, I'm not seeing any news, okay, recently that came out today to justify this push. All right, there's an article with 3 mortgage REITs, real estate investment trusts with the highest dividends. And IVR was mentioned in that article. But other than that, we don't really see any positive new, news catalyst going on. All right. So to me, it's kind of just a technicals based rally. What we're seeing is a very clean double bottom. All right. A double bottom is when you have one low here, and then later in the future, you come down and test that level again. And we got a very nice move to the upside. There's a small daily gap to fill right here. All right. This happens if we zoom in just a little bit more. Okay. This happens when, if you notice, there's a huge gap in the candlesticks. What happened was we closed around this level, all right, and then the next day we opened up here. So it created this big gap that we started to fill. So now this is the only remaining portion of the gap. And we may see IVR bounce off due to this double bottom and head back upwards up to the 1125 region, implying, we could go up another 75 cents from here. And 1139 is going to be the major resistance level above this gap if we do climb higher. right? But I'm not so worried about this because this is more of a long-term play for me, right? I'm planning on swinging this position and really just using some of the fundamentals that, all right, the forecast is not looking good for 2023. People are already starting to lower this, and we have IVR up 7% in one day. That's a really, really big move. A 7% move to the upside is very big. And you can see, the last time we had a very big move to the upside, we ended up getting 4 red days in a row. All right. Now the main pattern that I'm watching, okay, is going to be known as an inverse cup and handle. So what we'll do is we'll just zoom into the weekly chart now and take a look at the weekly levels. And it's pretty clear to see that we have a cup forming. All right. I'll go ahead and highlight that for you just so you can see. But here's our cup. All right, we may get that bounce off of the double bottom and come up and do something like this ultimately before breaking 959. Really about 960 is our 3-year lows on this. So if we're able to break 960, then we have the potential to head down lower. And the price targets that I'm looking at, all right, is actually going to be right around 7.3. Now the way I'm getting this is I'm not drawing these with the naked eye. I'm using the Fibonacci math formula to actually give me some price targets. Okay, you can use it to get price targets to the upside or the downside. In this particular case, I'm looking to see where the retracement levels are that I really need to pay attention to. All right, if this move, wants to retrace all of this move down, where could it potentially face resistance? And that's going to be at your 38.2 and your 61.8 levels on the fibs. So, right now I'm just watching. I got an early position starting. And, if we break past this resistance level here of 1139, then I'm going to be waiting to see if we come up towards this 38.2, 61.8 level on the fibs. And that would be another area where I'm interested in possibly adding to my short position, right? Because we talked about the inverse cup and handle. We have the cup, but we need a handle, all right? And we need to see a little bit of movement to the upside and then ultimately come back down and retest this 960 level. And if we get the break below 960, all right, the fibs have a nice level down here at the 1272 retracement. That's going to be at 7.3. All right, so that's mainly the main things that I'm watching. This bounce seems mostly fueled by technicals. All right, and when I say that, I'm speaking not of the fundamentals. As we just looked, the fundamentals are not forecasted to be very well in real estate. But if we look at the technicals, it's forecasting a very nice bounce because we're building bullish divergence. All right, bullish divergence is when you see something different happening on your relative strength index, which shows you the relative strength of a stock at its current price level, right? So what we did is we came down and made a low at 960. And then in the future, we came down and retested that low at 960. So we stayed flat. So the stock stayed flat, but the relative strength index made a low and then a higher low, right? So that's what's known as bullish divergence. And it's an indicator that you may see some bullish activity in the future, right? So you have bullish divergence on the relative strength index, and then you have a nice double bottom, okay, right here, bottom, bottom. That's two technical indicators that you may see some bullish activity. And, we're seeing IVR is just rallying very, very well and performing very well at the time of this recording. So, I'm seeing that and I'm saying, okay, well, I can fully justify why it's up right now from a technical standpoint, but from the fundamentals, things do not look so great. So it's great to use both of these when you're getting into some positions and when you are looking for something that's a little bit out of whack, right? Like, why would we be raging so much up 8% now on the day when real estate is not forecasted to do well at all. So you have to be able to read between the lines sometimes, and sometimes you got to make your own lines, right? So I'm going to be watching these levels, and we'll see how the trade goes. Okay, not every trade is a winner, but we do have a very good track record in the OTT Discord. Just go ahead and take a look at our profits page, and people are just posting insane profits all the time, doing very, very well. 29,000 profit, $1,000 in profit there, $10,000. People getting 47% of their entire account in one day. right? So, people talk about getting 9 to 10% returns on the S&P 500, over a year. We're able to come in here and get, daily profits of 47%, 30%, 20%, 8%. We have people constantly just, consistently posting their profits in the Discord. And yeah, so make sure to join that. Okay. Really valuable info there. You get tons of data, not just entries to our plays and our call outs, but you also get access to the Intel tab where we have two news feeds going on. We have the golden sweeps. All right, this is access that the normal retail trader is not going to have, but it really gives us an advantage heading into the market when we can see these large SPY put orders, right? $7.8 million in premium. IWM puts, right? This is the small cap index, 5.3 million in short positions, and it's giving you the expiration date. It's telling you what contracts they bought at what price, so on and so forth. On top of this, we have the unusual options activity tab where you can spot all the unusual options activity. You can look at the equity blocks and dark pool. This is really, really juicy stuff that, again, the normal retail trader isn't going to have access to. If you're watching this video right now, I'm sure that you didn't know that there was a $48 million dark pool transaction on Zoom right now, right? That was done earlier today, right around when we started recording the video. So this info is going to constantly be updated, and it's going to help give you that edge in the market. And you truly need an edge when it comes to trading and investing. It's like a battleground. It's like going to war, going to battle. You have to bring the proper weapons. Okay. You can't bring a knife to a gunfight. So don't try to do that in the stock market. Link to join the description is down below. Use code Zachly for a discount on your membership.